Hi everybody. We are going to actually try to squeeze in another one underneath where it says text twisters. Please draw an awesome squiggle spiky line and write a box that says extra work. Just really quick, I want to make sure that you remember how to do the area of mixed fractions. So if the problem was 2 1/3 times 5 1/4. I just want to make sure that you would remember how to find the area if those were the dimensions. So if it was 2 1/3 inches times 5 1/4 inches, what's the area? I want to make sure you remember to multiply then add. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7 over 3. How did you know it was over 3? You should be singing because the denominator is stubborn and it stays. Yes, it does. Okay, we do the next one. So it changes to 7/3. 4 times 5 is 20, plus 1 is 21 over 4. Because the denominator is stubborn and it stays. Now I multiply straight across. Ooh, I don't want to do that. So I'm going to look for relationships. I see one. 3 and 21 can both be divided by 3. Changing that one to 7, that one to 1. 7 times 7 is 49. 1 times 4 is 4. And then I fix it. How many times will 4 go into 49? Well, 12 times 4 is 48. So I'd have 1 left over. So the final answer on this one would be 12 1/4 inches squared because I'm finding the area. Okay, so the formula for that would be this measurement times that measurement equals your area. You're going to have to do one like that on your test, not these same numbers. So make sure you're careful and do the right work. Okay, let's move on to this one, to half courts. Hope you're paying attention to this one, Kason. Half courts. Where's the top of it? There we go. On this one, I am just going to show you. There's going to be quite a few where I just show you the pictures of what's going on, so there's no confusion on this, and that you can just do the very best on this test. I really want your math grade to be high. I want you to feel successful. So let's make sure that we understand what this question is asking. Okay? It says, drag and drop the figures into the category of the terms that describe them. A figure may be classified using more than one term. So that means you're going to drag and drop all the shapes, just so you know. All the shapes are either going to be in concave or convex, and I believe all of them will either be a hexagon or a pentagon. Yeah. So you're going to drag them into one of these two. They're either concave or convex. Then you're going to drag them into one of these two, hexagon or pentagon. Just really quickly, I'm going to, on here, label them. And we are going to just make a quick guess here, or a quick note on what does hexagon mean. I was just going to say, can you raise your hand if you know what hexagon means? I can't say that because I can't see you raising your hand. But hexagon means it has 6 sides. And what is it called for a shape that has 5 sides? Pentagon. Okay, so that'll be really easy on the test, is to just count up how many sides they have and drag and drop them into the areas that they belong in. This is the other thing that I wanted to go over really quickly, is a review of what does concave mean and what does convex mean. We had some lessons on this, but it was a while ago. A concave shape is a shape that caves inward or cuts inward. If I'm looking at these shapes, one that looks concave is this one. Think about putting a rubber band on these outside corners. That rubber band would stretch and there would be a gap. But like on this one, putting a rubber band on the outside corners, see how the corners go to the outside? It would fit perfectly. What about this one? Would it fit perfectly? No, it would stretch straight to this one. So far B and D are concave because they cave in, or the rubber band doesn't go with them. What about E? Outside corners. Ah, that one is also concave. And I believe the rest of these are convex. So a concave shape means that it caves in, or the line goes out of the cave. Remember that? Line out of cave when you connected 2 dots. That is what concave means. A convex means the rubber band would fit perfectly. Rubber band, perfect. That will help you remember what those two shapes, what those are, okay, when you get to that problem on the test. All right, The next one, Supreme Court cases. We only have 2 more to get through. The problem that's talking about Supreme Court cases, I am going to cut this one as well and have you take a look at it, because the question itself is easy, but the way they've worded the problem is pretty difficult. So they're giving you a 3-dimensional shape. This is not a cube, but it is a rectangular prism. I know it's not a cube because not all of the dimensions are equal. A cube has all equal sides. So really quickly, let's just put some numbers on this shape, okay? You can't, but you can just watch. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 going across. 1, 2, 3 going back. And how many going up? 3. So I should know the total volume real quick on this problem. So the total volume of this shape is 4 times 3 times 3. Which is, I can do 12 times 3 or 9 times 4, doesn't matter. Either way, it's 36 units, cubic units if you want to be specific, cubic units. So I know that, but look at what the question asks. The way it words the question is really complicated. I know it looks tiny, but it says, what is the volume? Explain your thinking. Here's how they want you to explain it. The volume of the prism is, you can put the answer in, then it says, there are blank unit cubes on the bottom layer. So it wants you to look at it as layers, not as just the quick formula. So I think it would be important for us to look at it in layers. Okay, it's asking for the bottom layer. That means, I'm just going to color in what bottom layer means. It means I take a knife and I cut off this gray layer. I would turn my knife like this and just take that bottom layer out. It wants to know how many cubes are there on just the bottom layer. Well, if you're looking at just these 2 dimensions, remember that it only goes 1 up, so you're really just looking at 4 times 3. How many are on the bottom layer? You can answer that now knowing 4 times 3. Then it says, since there are blank layers, how many layers are there in this cube? This is layer 1, this is layer 2, and the top one is layer 3. So since there are 3 layers with blank unit cubes in each one, all the layers are the same. This one had 12, that one has 12, that one has 12. You just follow finishing this answer. Since there are 3 layers each with 12 unit cubes, I blank blank by 3 to get blank. You just have to click those arrows and find out what the drop downs are in order to solve this problem. So don't be confused by looking at a shape by layers instead of just the formula. That would be super important. So maybe we should write over here, that is the formula, right? But you can find volume of shapes by thinking of unit layers. Actually, I'm just going to say layers. Okay, that's all you have to do on that problem. On this one, on your math review, is just to understand that you can look at volume by talking about layers as well. Okay, here is the last one we're going to review. Now, these are not all of the ones that are on your test. There are 20 problems on your test, and we have only reviewed, 12 or 13 ideas of them, and I didn't review all of the hard ones. I'm going to leave some difficult ones up for you, but the idea of thinking through the problems is what I'm looking for here. So, on the math test, when we get done with this review, on your math test tomorrow, you can use, I'm pretty sure your math test is tomorrow, the day after you watch this, but you can use this review, you can use your math journal, but you may not use other people or any other resources. So no calculators, no internet, just your journal, this review, and you taking the test on Think Central. Get yourself some fruit snacks if you want. That might help you think better. Okay, here's the last one we're going to review. And I'm just going to show you the problem so that you understand what it's asking. It says, select true or false for each statement. So you're just going to go through. Is a circle a convex polygon? Think about what you know. Remember, a polygon has to have straight sides. Does a circle have straight sides? you'd have to answer that true or false. Okay, next. A rhombus can have only one right angle. Let me draw a rhombus for you. This is a rhombus. It is also known as a square, but it can also be called a rhombus. So true or false? Can it only have one right angle? Look at that picture. Okay. All squares are rectangles. True or false? You should look in your journal if you're not sure of that, because we did a whole math lesson on this. It was the day we talked about quadrilaterals. So you need to answer that on your own. A regular octagon can be concave. A regular octagon means all sides are the same, all angles are the same. So let's just draw a regular octagon. Okay? It's a stop sign. Oh, to be all equal. Is that? I don't know if that's 8 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Is that, what did it ask again? A regular octagon can be concave. So is there anywhere where the line would go outside if I connected 2 dots? If I stretched a rubber band, it would fit perfectly. So you need to decide if that is a concave shape. Is it concave, true or false? If you don't remember, double check your journal or what we just talked about concave and convex. Okay? All right. A triangle can have at most one right angle. Remember what you know about triangles. Triangles always equal 180 degrees inside, and they have 3 angles. So if one angle was 90 degrees, could another angle be 90 degrees and the other one be something else? Think about what you know. 90 is half of 180. So if angle 2 was also 90 degrees, that would already be 180, and you haven't even left space for another angle. So now you can answer that thinking through it. A triangle can have at most one right angle. At most, meaning not more. That one is true. It can't have more than one right angle, or you're going to run into this problem. That would be a problem if it had more than one. Okay? And last one. A regular triangle has 3 60-degree angles. Remember, a regular triangle is called an equilateral acute triangle. It looks like that. All sides are the same. So, do all of those angles equal 60 degrees? Are they all equal? True or false? Okay. That is what it's going to look like on your test, and I know you have some mumble-jumbled notes right there, but hopefully that will help you if you come into some confusion. Again, don't lose this math review. You can use it on the test, and you'll also be turning it in to me for points. So do not lose it. Do your very best on this test. I wish you the best of luck. Thanks for hanging in there with me. This is our last math instruction video, and so I just really quickly want to put a plug in there to you. Hopefully you've watched to the end, but man, I'm sure proud of you and how well you've done at math this year. You've come a long way, you've worked hard, you've learned lots of little tips and tricks and the real method. You've done a lot of hard journal entries and hard work and then learned little shortcuts. We've had a good time coloring in our math journal, lots of jokes, little hands-on things, licorice and bread, the button man, King Henry. You know, we've done a lot of things, and I'm just really proud of you for hanging in there this last unit and doing this review. I miss you tons. Good luck. You've got this, and do your best on your test.